What's up, manze? It's MKIDDI over here, manze. Kindly like, subscribe, follow. You know how we do it. We appreciate the mad love. Thanks for watching. Abo. Peace out. So manze, tuko na match. It's how we do it. Tuko na matisho. Tuko na hoodies. Kindly like, subscribe, follow. Appreciate sana, manze. Abo. With some bangers. Thanks for coming to watch some reaction videos. Thanks for everything, man. Man, I appreciate everybody who's been running up and subbing up, man. New to the channel, man, please like, comment, and subscribe, man, so that you get notified every time we drop an upload, man. Shit. Y'all, it's for entertainment purposes only, man. Whoa. Please, man, like, subscribe, man, follow, so that you get updated and notified every time we drop another video on this awesome channel. Whoa. Say, manze, today is bigger than your circumstances, manze. So you gonna make it through it, bro. No pressure, bro. I'm a sister. I don't know what you're going through, but I know everybody has their own thing. So kindly school the pressure, sikonde, relax. God a cup on the case, man. Relax, manze. We'll be good. Trust me. Yo, I ain't gonna hold you. Let's get right into the video, man. Whoa. Let's go.
Nobody is talking about the fact Jeepers Creepers was seen flying around Michigan. They said he eats every 23 years, and this year marks 23.
Today we're going to get in a little bit more in depth about Dog Man, and I have some bonus content for you. An old news article about a military situation and the studies of Bigfoot. For years, there have been witness accounts of things unnatural, things unfathomable to the mind, things that you would only dream of in a nightmare. People perish from a lack of knowledge, and for centuries, people have fallen victim to the hands of the unseen. People have mistakenly ran into these supernatural entities, and for those who do survive, their minds will never be the same. Several eyewitnesses who have had encounters with these beings, unfortunately, do not come forth to the public due to the fear of ridicule. No matter how many ancient artifacts are left behind that depict and clearly show us that there is something there in our history that no one wants to speak about. Many things are hidden right in front of us, but nothing is ever new under the sun. Over the years, things seem to progress quite rapidly. In front of us right now, we have an exclusive article from way back in the day about how the U.S. military was actually taking this thing serious. Even in the 1970s, we had a map depicting the areas in our rural woodlands and forests where these entities reside, suspected to be dogman type entities. For years, movies have always given us artist renditions and illustrations of these entities. You gotta ask yourself why. Hidden knowledge is placed right in front of our faces, and it's given to us in bits and pieces, and we're treated as such as a child with a feeble mind. If people spent just a small amount of research, they would be immensely buried in research. It's too much evidence to keep overlooking what we already know to be true. We expose these things due to the safety purposes of the public. It's all fun and games until you actually have a real life encounter. After my wild encounter in the summer of 2005, I knew right then and there that there was something much more to this world than we could ever understand. I mean, I always heard a lot of witness encounters from family, especially my granddad being high-ranking in the Navy, and his experiences over his time touring across the country. But man, I would never think I would go through anything like what I experienced. There are several others in the same boat as me, you, so many we can't even count. The problem is that people have been desensitized so long that they seem to forget we don't know it all, nor have we seen it all. Only a small percentage of this earth and this ocean has been explored truly. There are places on this earth that man haven't been able to reach. Speaking of portals, this is on a farmer's property right here with a dog man shifting in and out of reality. Interdimensional. And this is what I mean. We don't know nearly half as much as we think we know. and stay safe.
Han aparecido estas criaturas de una tribu que vive oculta en los bosques de Indonesia. Son nómadas. Por el día habitan zonas fluviales y por la noche se esconden en cuevas. No superan el 1,5 metros de altura. Poseen largas melenas que no cortan por diferentes motivos. Las usan para el apareamiento. Cuanto más larga la melena, más opciones de conseguir pareja. También a modo de cama para acomodarse en el suelo mientras duermen. Además, las utilizan como camuflaje ante posibles peligros. Estas criaturas aparecieron en una aldea desorientados y les dieron alimentos que nunca antes habían comido. ¿Creéis que deberíamos dejarles desarrollarse de forma natural o tal vez el civilizado les ayude a superar sus dificultades?
Manze, mnachikiaje ni ufala manze. No jokes ni ufala. Ana situ manze amevalia tu mask na manywele. Hii ni ujinga manze. Ama mnaonaje? Mnaona kama ni ukweli ama ni uongo? Like, subscribe, follow. Like, comment hapo down below tusikie manze mnasemaje, lakini mimi think anasa kuna manywele tu za asi. Kutu amejifanya tu.
Jaguar spilling some tea right now. Oh my goodness. In this audio you are about to listen to, Jaguar is spilling some tea on Snoop. Yes, Snoop Dogg. In this audio, she also reveals some tea about Lauren London. And you know, everybody looks at Lauren London as the industry sweetheart. She said that Lauren London used to sing background for her, which I really didn't even know that. Jaguar Wright mentions Capricorn Clark. If you recall, Capricorn Clark is the sister to Lauren London. Capricorn Clark was allegedly assaulted by Diddy. He came out and was like, oh, she was stealing from me, and then turned around and cleaned it up and was like, nah, she just elevated in her work and she moved on. God bless her type stuff. This is all alleged, but let me roll this tea for y'all.
You know, it was Snoop. And Snoop, man. Because I never wanted to believe it. You hear whispers throughout the years and you think that people are, and Snoop and I have always had a decent rapport, even though he f***ed me over. I understood why he did it, and I never held him to it. You know, you and Martha Stewart rocking out on the cookie with this shit was supposed to have been me and you, but, you know, whatever. You know. But Snoop got some answering to do. Because if you were capable of doing what they're saying that you did to Tupac, why the f*** wouldn't we believe that you were capable of doing it to Nick because he was about to eclipse you?
Dang.
All of your fucking secret meetings with Diddy, and y'all fucking knew that they put Lauren on him. See, I know Lauren London. Lauren London used to sing backgrounds for me back in the day. You didn't know that, did you?
Hell no, I didn't know that.
Lauren London used to be one of my background singers. She fell in love with my keyboard player. His name is Omar Edwards. Omar went on to play for Jay-Z after me, after leaving my band. Omar Edwards got Lauren London on to American Idol, which put her in position to meet Nipsey, and then she dumped Omar, who loved her madly, for Nipsey out of nowhere. All those Skin Diddy parties, all of the support that Snoop has for Honeycomb. You've been moving niggas out the way, Snoop, allegedly. But you fucked up when you fucked with Nip. Y'all all fucked up when you fucked with Nip. Moved him out of the way because he was about to give Dr. Sabi to the world all over again, just like Lisa Left Eye Lopez tried to do damn near 30 years ago. Y'all niggas ain't slick. Yeah, Lauren London was a contestant on American Idol. She just didn't make it, and when that fell through, the next thing you knew, she was in Nip bed. Now you want to sit up there and talk about it wasn't all what it was hitting for, and you want to talk about this. If you married a Crip, you seed up. You don't get to walk away. And ain't nothing Honeycomb can do. Isn't it funny how her sister was working for him? Isn't that interesting? I guess that was part of the payment. His sister got to get a job working for the devil. Because I'm accusing you now, Lauren. You work with Diddy to line up your baby daddy, just like Khalees. Work with Nasquiat to line up Nas. When are y'all just gonna realize working with these niggas ain't gonna save you?
Dang.
That's why Khalees' career is in an uproar. She turned on her husband. And they fucked her. They ain't give a shit. Allegedly, it was Khalees that micked Nasir Jones and made him lose his mind so Jay-Z could step into the spot. And that nigga, even though he was f***ing you, never kept his promises. I guess y'all didn't know that Khalees was f***ing Jay-Z on the side.
Wow. Hell nah, we ain't never hear that one.
Well, I'm saying it now. Sue me if I'm lying. Khalees can be old news. This isn't about news. This is about motive and opportunity. They stay using desperate starlets to line up the niggas that they want out of the way. Because the easiest way to get rid of a mother is to put somebody in their bed. Look at what they did to Bashir Gray. Charlie Mack found him a wife. See how that turned out. What do y'all need? How much? I mean, is it just... Is it just you refuse to accept that you were wrong? Or is it you just don't want the truth to be right? Which one is it? No, Lauren London isn't an only child. She has a sister, and her sister was working for the Honeycomb. Capricorn.
Wasn't Diddy executive producer of Nipsey's album? Exactly.
And wanted him to stay the fuck away from Dr. Sabies. It was a blind corporation that bailed his murderer out of jail.
Yeah, this shit got a lot of layers to it.
If these people knew. But they gonna know. Because there's this crazy bitch named Jaguar Wright that won't shut her fucking mouth up about it. It's about to get real, guys.
Yeah, because Kanye said they put people in your life. Like my trainer was CIA. He said they put people in your life around you.
Oh, he said Canadian intelligence.
Yeah, Canadian intelligence, yeah. Dang. I mean, they would have to, you think about these stars, they have hundreds of millions of followers and all that. You would have to have some type of control. They would want control over that. Like they wouldn't, your email list,
all of it. They don't understand. People need to be careful with these change.org petitions as well, because they're just honey traps to collect information, to collect data.
So, what do you think about Jaguar's story, manze? Unasikia venye Jaguar anazoza, manze. Nasema hapo Laurel London. Me thought Laurel London, to be honest, manze, nilikuwa najua dem ni mhot sana, so manze Laurel London ni mhot. Kama ujui Laurel London, naangalia video za Nipsey Hussle, manze dem ni super kuruka. So apparently sikuwa najua hata alikuwa na mastori mob hivyo, but apparently alikuwa na mastori So nasikia alikuwa backup singer wa Jagorite. So I don't know how that far goes, but Jagorite anasema she was there and then akadate sijui drama wake ama ni sijui nani wake, and then sasa akaenda kwa pianist wake, sijui akaenda kwa Jay-Z. Sasa kwa Jay-Z sasa ndo akiwa kwa auditions za hiyo show akaenda akapatana na Nipsey. Sasa kutoka kwa Nipsey okay, akapata sasa aka level up kutoka kwa umsi walikuwa pianist Jaguar. Lauren London was Omar Gibson's boyfriend, who was playing for Jaguarite at the moment. So Lauren London was the backup singer for Jaguarite, and so through Omar, the keyboard player, Lauren London got with Omar, and Omar when he left Jaguarite, he went to Omar went to play for Jay-Z, and then when he was playing for Jay-Z, he through his connections connected Lauren London because she was the girlfriend at the time. Akampeleka sasa auditions, I think for American something. So and then so up on the Lauren London akamit Nipsey. So Nipsey, I think at the time I just about alcoholic, like at the time but Lauren London was being known, but sir, now the fact that she met Nipsey, she decided to leave Omar for Nipsey. Are we on the same page? Right. And they're claiming now Lauren London was sent to Nipsey by Snoop and Diddy to check up on Nipsey. So Jaguarite is saying they should have not fucked up with Nipsey. Are we all on the same page? Kabisa. So.
Coast of the United States, the point of operation will be Atlanta because it's the highest city in the east that will be safe from the changing coastline. Here in the west, the new capital of the United States will be Denver, Colorado. Denver has been set up, and they are actually moving things. It has been activated, just so you know, which is why we have many federal units moving in here, as well as departments and agencies. They're already here, and more are coming, so it's been activated. I'm not aware that you know this, but for the last 4.5 to 5 years, they have been moving the National Archives out of Washington, D.C. to Colorado. 18-wheelers go in under DIA, Denver International Airport, and some things are being stored here. Others are being moved to other locations using the underground tram system. So there's quite a bit going on, and things have been, the timeline has been moved up. In Europe, nations are preparing the best that they can. In England, I know that they are moving equipment to the north of Great Britain. They have many underground facilities there. They're doing the very best they can. However, it's an island. I don't know how well it's going to deal with that.
What the heck?
years in the history of this planet. But it would pale in comparison to what these people have prepared in 2025. I saw something so devastating that I don't even think half of the people on Earth would want to be on Earth if it happens. Most like the United States is divided down the middle, and all of the middle is water. How in the hell is that gonna happen? I know y'all just seen that map. Texas is gone. Ain't no Louisiana, Oklahoma. It's a Colorado, though. Remember the Denver airport? They say all the bases is up under there. All of the biggest underground city is in where? Denver, Colorado. Where they got inside the airport? The reptilians. It's a Colorado. But everything around Colorado is gone. Ain't no California, Seattle, Washington. You barely in there. It looked like the majority of you gone too. And everything else. Ain't no Florida. Ain't no East Coast. I know y'all just seen this map. Imagine trillions of gallons of water. How is they going to separate the lands, and that's going to be water? Is there going to be, what kind of explosion can happen so big that it separates and divides the country and lets in the waters from the ocean? I'm not getting this. Why is there no Oklahoma and no Texas and no New Mexico? And it's going no Iowa. And it's going right up the middle. What could happen that it would divide the land and allow for a new ocean to fill in the middle? Somebody please explain this. Because this map means that there are millions upon millions gonna die.
Sijui sasa state kuna mali floods itakuja. Apparently there's a map that has been circulating, and I'll look for it and put it around. So if you have any comments on that, kindly comment.
Mass evacuations for Americans? Huh? Did you hear?
It would be imprudent and irresponsible if we didn't have folks thinking through a broad range of contingencies and possibilities, and certainly evacuations are one of those things. And given what's going on in the Middle East right now, I think it's perfectly reasonable. I think it would be imprudent and irresponsible if we weren't doing some kind of contingency thinking.
Fear? Am I fear-mongering, or is the news fear-mongering? I'm just giving you the information and presenting it to you if you did not know. Remember the star that used to come across the screen? The more you know. You have the White House, media. Let me just say, we all know it's the media. We all know what they do. But nonetheless, planning for contingencies. If the problem arises or comes to a heightened state in the Middle East. We're not in a heightened state? Is this problem in the Middle East have anything to do with the state that is not real? And Palestine? Who voted against the ceasefire? Oh, we know. The state that is not real in America. So, you're now blasting on the air a contingency plan for mass evacuation. That would be kind of hard to do with all these immigrants here. Am I right about the immigrants coming here in the first place? And you know what's crazy? when you talk to people that are around the world, like I had a conversation with someone in South Africa, I talked to people in Great Britain, they don't have borders either. Yeah, allegedly. I mean, like, isn't that interesting? You think what's happening in America is only happening in America? The only difference is Europe's people, if you've not paid attention to Europe, they're standing. You know what the America's people is doing? Going to work. It's going them about their death. They don't give a fuck. We're doomed. Fear-mongering. It's fear-mongering. Piece of God.
Our history is forever lost. We have to pay money to find out our history. And when I talk about this shit, make me so sad. It almost make me shed tears because sometimes I still look at pictures to this day and see a black man hung with his hands tied behind his back with fire coming up off his feet. I'm like, God damn, how many ways you trying to kill him? He already can't free himself, but you still put fire on his feet too. When I look at that, that's my people. He could, the generation down, that could somebody be a relative to me. I always think about what have we done as a species or as people? What have we done so much for people to hate us? Why? Why? What? Why? I don't understand it. And for that reason of me not understanding, I know a lot of people don't understand it. And if you ain't lived in it, or if you ain't lived in the skin like this, you'll never understand it. That's why I speak for it.
So racism also exists in the States, so don't forget it. Support our brothers and sisters over there. The struggle is real, so yeah, manze. Peace out.
A little message of hope, and the deal is, look, a lot of people think there's a magic solution in recovery. There's not. Look, I spent most of my life, I'm going to tell you, before I got this 6 years, look, I spent most of my life in and out of rehabs, in and out of detox, listening to people say, you need to go to rehab, you need to go to detox, you need to try this program, you need to get this sponsor, and letting people make choices for me. Let me explain something to you. There's no magic solution. There's not. Recovery is possible, but it's only possible when you truly want it. If you don't want it, you can go to 10,000 rehabs and it's never going to happen. You can recite 10,000 slogans out of the big book or say, oh, the steps, and use all that stuff and say, oh, this is going to work and that's going to work. But guess what? You're just doing lip service. You're just talking about it. This is what I want to tell you this morning. If you really want it and you really want to stay sober, you have to give it up. You have to give up things that are causing you to go back. And what that means is you might be putting yourself in situations that's causing you to relapse by being irritated or letting people discourage you or being around certain people. And you notice that even when you're doing good, oh, I've got 60 days. In which that's a miracle. One day, 24 hours is a miracle. But at the same time, if you're going right back to the same situations that keeps you messed up, then you're going to go back. Eventually, you're going to be frustrated. You're going to lose your composure. Your character's going to get out of whack. And then eventually, it's going to lead to relapse. You can't expect for change to happen if you don't change your surroundings and change the person, places, and things. Rehab doesn't fix you. Rehab doesn't repair the issues. Rehab doesn't take care of the years of struggling and problems you've had. And people go, yes, but it's a start. Yeah, it's a start. You can disappear and be away from everything for a while. And of course you're going to stay sober. But immediately when you get out and you put yourself back in these circumstances, you're going right back to your addiction. Now, look, I'm not trying to say things to try to make you feel good. I'm trying to tell you what you've got to do in order to get sober. Now, for me, it took some really hard, right? It took prison. It took a lot of really hard things to wake me up, but I did wake up. And look, let me tell you something. The only thing that happened was I refused to go back to the way I used to be. I changed. I became a completely different person, probably a little more frustrated and angry at myself for not doing this earlier, actually. But with that being said, yeah, I'm not fast to go out and go on dates and try to get in relationships. I stay away from people. And that's what it takes for me. You've got to realize you got to do what's best for you, best for the people you love, your family, your children. And by doing that, you do what's best for yourself. So with that being said, yeah, you can recite the big book till you're blue in the face and go to 6,000 meetings a year and all these wonderful things. Oh, if you don't go to a meeting, you're not going to stay sober. That's bullshit. It only works when you work it, and working it by first things first, and that is admitting you've got a problem and saying, look, I've got to change my situations too. It's not just not drinking or not using. And the newcomer that does this needs to go to meetings where he can listen to people and be able to speak himself. Don't go to a meeting where they're like, shut up, you don't need to talk and all that, and you got some miserable person with 20 years and thinks he's got all the answers in the back telling you to be quiet. He needs to shut up and let you talk. Because I don't know, for me, somebody that's got some sobriety, I get more from people that are coming in, and it keeps me sober, than I do listening to somebody who's miserable and been a dry drunk for 20 years. So with that being said, look, I hope you have a great day. Do what you got to do. Do you first. Don't care what nobody thinks. I don't care what nobody thinks about me. I do what it takes to stay sober, and by doing that, I help myself.
So manze, kwa life, in this life, so many people go through so many things. So I'd like to encourage you, if you're going through a hard time, if you're having trouble with substances, first of all, pray, go back, reflect, and do what he said. Kasabu, just wake up and know that don't dwell too much into these things, because these are things of the world and they lose you. So you have to be smart when you're interacting with also other people, because other people may want to use these things and you may not be in a position to. So be mindful.
And I've never seen a baby picture.
Yeah, I ain't never seen one either. Always seen one thing.
I don't know nobody that knows somebody that's seen a baby picture. And when you see pictures, they always sitting about electric wire. Where did they sit before they was electric?
Get in here, get in here, get in here. This is sad to see. Extra sad. Do you see above my head? Black church have collected $800 billion with a B in 10 years. But this is my question. What did you do with all that money? Did you invest it back in the community? You actually, as a pastor, can actually give out loans back to the same people who gave to you for houses, businesses, and every other thing in the world. You could have bought an Amazon. You could have bought a whole franchise of McDonald's, Pizza Huts, Beggars, Giordano's, Wendy's, all at the same time. The whole franchise. Not just hundreds, the whole franchise of all of them at the same time. But yet our grandmothers and mothers and daddies giving their money to these pastors and getting nothing back in return. Lights getting cut off. Cars getting repoed. Now, evidently, they don't pay taxes, so that means they're not in slavery. So this is what we own. This is what we own. You could have bought 50 Nike factories and taught kids how to make shoes. You actually could have bought Hollywood film studios, make films. Or the whole Tyler Perry lot, which is an estimated $200 billion. So you got another $600 billion over. But I say that to say this. I pray for my people. This is why they own nothing and have nothing. And our civil rights leaders and pastors, they're all in together. So if you wonder how immigrants keep getting these loans and they open up businesses, this how they done it. This how they done it.
Kama dawa. Yesterday church mnasemaje manze? Do you think it's fair for churches to, okay, like the churches in the States for 10 years have collected $800 billion? Do you know how much is $800 billion? $800 billion can buy the whole of Walmart, Amazon. Say like that's free food for Christians. Imagine. But armor, the armor with 800 billion obviously can buy KFC, McDonald's, like change it into something good, or as my brother was saying, you can buy Nike. So buy like 5-10 Nike shops, the whole of Nike, and then give people work. That's how you give people employment if the church money was supposed to be um for real, for real. So, but the money for the church is just being used, however. So,
Okay, so supposedly this one was taken in Argentina and was recorded there in February of this year. And guys, I'm telling you, that's some weird stuff now. I mean, I don't think that's CGI. I don't know. Is it a drone? I mean, it's lighting up the whole place. It's maneuvering really fast. You can go back and watch it. It's a pretty interesting video. It's I haven't seen one like that in a while. That's pretty interesting. It kind of reminds me of the video a long time ago. There was one at an airport in Japan where it made those same type ringing sounds. I notice every little detail when I recognize a UFO video from a former video that kind of reminds me of that. And leave your comments. Let me know what you think.
Let me tell you why that. Because I am the woman who he shot in the face in that 1999, December 27th, 1999, Club New York shooting. I have told everyone ad nauseum since then, even the surgeon who did the surgery to take the bullet. I got shot in my face with a 9 millimeter hollow point bullet called a cop killer. I literally have told everyone and never changed what I said. I watched him. I got pow-powed in the face. I watched him fire the gun. I've said it all this time. Even the surgeon who did my surgery to take out part of the bullet fragments that was aspirating into my lungs and try to remove as many bullet fragments as possible, testified in the criminal trial that while they were putting me under, I was screaming, Puffy, pew pew me in the face. He testified in the criminal trial. It is in the record. They all knew he did it. Everybody knew he did it. But he paid off the club bouncer named Sharice and all these other people and the club owners with their video to hide the video. That's his MO. I told everybody that. This man almost took my life, has traumatized my life, has caused undue harm, irreparable damage to my life, lied his behind off. I've had all these youngins on the
so what's up manzi, comment manzi hapo mchiki, like what do you think manzi, did you could have done? Why did you could have shot that chick? Ama ni uongo ama ni kweli? So spam that in the comments, tusikie venye mnasema, ndio. What's up, manzi? MKIDDI over here, manzi. We made it to the end of the video. If you haven't, manzi, like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell so that you know when we drop them uploads. Manzi, like, subscribe, follow. Whoa, manzi. Boom, sunajua manzi, and all of this is for entertainment purposes. Alright, share that I ain't gonna hold you, man. Till I see you on the next big y'all go. We gone. Push.